Your Excellency, the Deputy President of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, Your Excellency, the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, and to the family of Dr. Joyce Laboso, all protocols observed. I first of all want to take this opportunity to welcome you all to the great county of Kisumu and to thank you for taking time off to come and give a befitting send-off to our sister, Dr. Joyce Laboso. If the story of Dr. Joyce Laboso and Mr. Edwin would be rewritten in this part of the country, the story would read very different. It would not be the story of the girl met the boy. The story would be Lando met Silwal. In this part of Kenya, you don't have very many ladies with the complexion that Joyce had. And so the pet name of a woman who is light-skinned is Lando. And to this region, Joyce was revered and petted because of her complexion. On the other hand, Edwin would just not be the handsome young man. Edwin would be referred to as Silwal. So the story would be Lando met Silwal. I met Joyce in the 80s when we were at the Kenyatta University College. Both of us were in the same department of linguistics. And as I went to teach in Pangani Girls, Joyce went to teach in Kipsigis Girls. But even then, Joyce already showed that she was a woman, she was a lady who loved peace and loved unity. And all throughout her life, Joyce spent her time building bridges, even before the BBI came into place. Joyce would always make friends meet and would make sure that friends stay together. I want to say this. I remember a moment when Joyce had already become a politician, when Joyce made the biggest sacrifice in her life. She loved her family. She loved Edwin. But at that particular time, she had to make a decision to let Edwin and the family stay just one step behind. As we were campaigning with Honorable Shebesh in 2008, walking along the shops of Sotik, I kept on introducing myself and saying, my name is Rosa Akinyi. And Joyce would pinch me and say, leave that Akinyi. I would wonder, why should I leave Akinyi? The next shop we'd go to, I'd say, jina langu ni Rosa Akinyi, thinking she wanted me to speak in Kiswahili. She'd still pinch me and say, why Akinyi? Leave that Akinyi behind. And then I got to know exactly why. She explained to me, and I said, what huge sacrifices women must make to gain political leadership. Joyce loved her family, and yet she could not come out in the open to say, I'm Joyce, married in Nyakach to Edwin Abonyo, and my name is Joyce Abonyo. That is just the sort of sacrifices women have to make. And we thank Joyce, because even as she made that sacrifice, Joyce still stayed with the family and showed them love. And we thank Edwin for having let Joyce go by the name Joyce Laboso without insisting that where is Abonyo. In this part of Kenya, even I am married. If I went ahead and did not have my husband's name Buyu, I can tell you that I'd be divorced. But Edwin was gracious and let Joyce pursue her dream, even if his name was missing in all the books of Joyce. That is the sacrifice women have to make. And we want to thank President Uhuru Kenyatta and the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga for introducing handshake to this country. Because through the handshake, women will find their security and safety. Because handshake stands for unity. Handshake stands for cohesiveness. Handshake stands for love. Handshake stands for peace. And in all that, women stand to gain, so that it will never have to matter. If you want to seek a political leadership position, nobody will ever have to ask you, where were you married? You will just be judged by the opportunities and by the abilities of your political leadership. Edwin, I want to say a big thank you to you for having remained so close to Joyce. You did what many men will never do. Before I sit, I know there are many members of parliament, the female members of parliament, both Senate and the National Assembly. Because of time, you will not be able to get an opportunity to introduce yourselves, but I kindly and humbly request you to please just stand up so that you can be recognized, because I know you come from all parts of this country. Kindly stand and just wave to the crowd. Thank you for showing Joyce that we stood with her. It didn't matter what part of the country we came from, but we supported her because she was with us.